And our 17th team to arrive in the World's Toughest Row Atlantic 2023. We have Elliot rowing alongside us. There's the Wave Wrangler, guys. He is coming in to the finish line. Thank you so much for watching on this rainy early morning here in Antigua. You can see the sunrise just starting to crack in the background as he rows into the harbour. Absolute phenomenal effort to come in against the headwinds. You can see the direction, maybe you can just about see the direction of the rain there. He is rowing fully against it. Thank you so much for watching, everybody who are watching the World's Toughest Row live with the arrival of Wave Wrangler. Elliot is coming in. Send in your messages of support. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you know Elliot. Let us know what you're doing.
50 meters. Come on, Elliot!
He's about to cross the finish line. This is the ultimate challenge where a fleet of rowers in teams of multi-crews up to 5 and solos, as you can see here, are crossing or have crossed the vast expanse of the Atlantic Ocean by rowboat powered only by themselves. I'm Charlotte, your live reporter. Thank you so much for watching.
15.
Keep sending in your messages of support.
10.
Elliot is coming in second in the solo class.
That's
He was grimacing as he came in, rowing hard to get under the island so that the wind would drop off. And he looks fantastic.
Take your time, Elliot. Take your time. Take it in, buddy.
Elliot has been rowing 44 days across the Atlantic Ocean. Elliot Arwin, age 37, had his birthday just 4 days ago. Celebrated his birthday with lots of support coming in from friends and family back home. He is driven to prove that despite having an implanted pacemaking device, absolutely anything is possible. And clearly he's proved that to be true. Massively competitive. He dug in his oars when he realized a couple of days ago that Liz, the next solo to arrive, was pushing hard. She was trying to come in for that second place, but Elliot was having absolutely none of it. As you can see, he's rowing a D12.
Great job, Elliot! Yes, well done, Elliot! Yes, well done, yes, Elliot! Welcome to Antigua!
Absolutely incredible. Elliot Arwin, the Wave Wrangler, has arrived
Great job, Elliot.
in the World's Toughest Row Atlantic 2023. Don't know if you heard that. He just said, wow, that's quite an exhilarating feeling. His boat, a D12, different kind of boat from what you're used to. Aptly named Pacemaker. And he said that Harry Potter is listened to. He's chatting to the guys there in the dinghy that are going to help to show him exactly where to go shortly.
Turn you around, get you in the right position.
Elliot founded Wrangler, the team, which slogan is battling arrhythmia one wave at a time. It's a platform for anyone living with an arrhythmia to share stories and experiences, as well as raise funds to provide defibrillators to underfunded sports centres and communities. And he's raising funds and awareness for the British Heart Foundation to support those living or affected by heart arrhythmia. And it's something that he discovered that he had himself, diagnosed with Wolff-Parkinson-White syndrome, atrial fibrillation and supraventricular tachycardia, which together can be life-threatening. It resulted in Elliot becoming the recipient of a pacemaker in early 2020 after nearly 6 years in and out of hospital trying to maintain a regular heart rhythm. He just said that was fun. What, the whole thing or the ending?
Well, the end.
Hesitate.
It's so surreal. I can't believe it's been whatever 40 years. I have no idea what I mean.
We know, but you can find out when you get into land.
Find out, but I mean, it's been a bit of a blur, really. Amazing.
Well, take it in. Take it all in.
Beautiful place to finish.
He just said it's a beautiful day to finish. It really is. Elliot, he had a strong and steady row from the start, made incredible progress initially, overtaking teams and positioning himself first in the solo class, particularly for the first couple of weeks. And then the Christmas and New Year blips in weather made the experience quite stressful and heavy going, rowing into headwinds. Ultimately, it caused many teams, including Elliot, to have to go on power anchor rather than lose ground and get pushed north. Power anchor is a parachute-like device that is deployed into the water to help stabilize the boat from drifting in the wrong direction during bad weather. And Elliot found this time infuriating and demoralizing. And as a competitive spirit, you can just imagine how frustrating that would have been after his fast start. And within the first 2 weeks, we found out that one of his blisters on his hand became quite deep and gruesome, down to the flesh. Thankfully, we weren't forced to see any of those pictures, unless you were one of those lucky people that DM'd his socials manager, because apparently it looked worse than it was. Okay, so Elliot's going to row himself into Nelson's dockyard. He's just rowing here past Galleon Beach.
This is the second part of the race. Sprint to Nelson's dockyard.
He said, is this the second part of the race? The sprint to the dockyard. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to sprint ahead of him first, get in first, so that we can then be ready to watch him step onto land for the first time in 44 days. He'll find out exactly that time once he gets into the dockyard. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll see you in a bit. Hello, welcome back. World's Toughest Row Atlantic 2023 for the arrival of Elliot.
3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. Started his journey December 13th in Liberia, and now here at the 3,000 grueling miles. Let's make some miles and give it up for Elliot Wrangler!
Elliot Arwin coming in second in the solo class. Very coolly steering his way in. One week in and he experienced man overboard during his morning self-care or bum care routine at 4 a.m. In 25 knots of wind. Said boxes around his ankle and he gets launched head over heels over the bow cabin. Good job, he was tethered to the boat.
Great job!
Ladies and gentlemen, that was us. I was the Atlantic and he beat it. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Elliot Wrangler!
can tell by the face of Elliot, it's been
So ready to get on.
It's been a rough morning.
It has, yeah. And last night and the night before. And probably the night before that as well.
So, representing the United Kingdom, again, a big applause for Elliot Wade Wrangler!
Well done, Elliot! Let's go! Let's go!
So, now I don't think we can keep you any longer on board your boat Pacemaker. Are you ready to stay on land? Yes, you are! Family is here.
Yes, man! Give me all for fun! Sorry, bro. You're still here! Oh, wow. Well, thanks, everyone.
So, Elliot, time to stand and step up to the podium. It can be a bit wobbly. Careful now. We don't want any injuries. Stand in the corner now. Perfect. So, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, it's one of the best starts on the mornings here in Antigua and Listen Stargard is with an arrival. So, the entire Stargard is probably awake now. Elliot, you started your journey in Lagomera December 13th. You are now here after 44 days and 1 hour.
Let's go!
It was very close that Ian he forgot the 1 hour, so it was straight up 44 days. As Elliot says, probably the hardest hour within the challenge. But there's been many challenges out there. We hear about them in a bit. First, Kevin handing over the certificate of achievement from our adjudicator, Ocean Rowing Stats, and the t-shirt saying, I rode the Atlantic, and indeed you did, so a big applause for Elliot!
So, Elliot, what a journey. And we started quite rough in the race with knockdowns and tough weather, high seas. Tell us a little bit about right from the start of the journey. Any thoughts out there saying, what am I doing?
For me, I was just literally thinking as I was coming in, I was like, how would I explain the whole thing? There was the beginning, which I loved, and it was nice and fast. And then there was two bits of the middle. The first was really slow and awful and wondering what I was going to do. The second bit was a bit quicker, but tricky. And then the end was just really hard. I had 2 nights ago, had I not been finishing in 24 hours, I think I would have just stuck on power anchor and waited for everything to just clear up until I waited. Because that was really, I had a really bad night getting pinned every 10 minutes and then sleeping and just getting water through the valves. Yeah, awful. Yeah. And then luckily, yeah, and then the last 48 hours have been a bit of a blur, really. And then the last hour the last 10 minutes coming straight into the wind. I mean, it's at least get a pump on. It's great.
You have done very well, and you've fought your way in here, Elliot. 3 days ago, you had a knockdown. You also broke an oar, and other challenges out there.
Yeah. I think it's the decision making is the hardest, as in knowing what is the right thing to do. Is it right to row into the wind, across the wind, or is it right to rest? There were days when I couldn't row. I could row a knot at a time. So I'd row for 2 hours, row 2 knots, and then drift back while I was resting for an hour and a half a knot. I'm just wondering what was the point in rowing for 2 hours. And then should I have made that decision to just rest? And then not knowing what other people are doing. And it's like doing a marathon, but never running more than 100 meters. And then how do you expect to know what you're going to do? Like, the physical part of it for me was fine. It was really the decision making and living on board. I am the messiest, but I don't want anyone to look in either of these places.
Let's make an appointment with the family when you do the inspection tomorrow. We need some help on your boat, and they can go in the cabins or not.
Absolutely not. I mean, their smell developed the last couple of days. I have no idea where it came from. And I think all order in that cabin has just no one go in there. I'll sort it out tomorrow or this afternoon.
I heard saw on your socials you have been you look forward to sunrises and probably also sunsets in Antigua, but you have seen many beautiful sights out there for sure. Tell us a little bit about that.
I think the thing I became obsessed with was one of the birds. And I don't think someone said it's a storm petrel, but I don't think it is a storm petrel. I mean, I'm gonna have to. And not having Google really annoyed me.
Elliot put out a question on his socials about that bird, and you did mention I don't have Google, so I'll ask the public, but you didn't get a right answer, and maybe we won't get. But there was a bird following you.
Yeah, and I saw it every day, and I said hello to it every day. Yeah, dark time. The flying fish, they are hilarious. I don't know. It's like lemmings of the sea. They just like pop up on deck, and then one break, I found like 8 medium-sized fresh. Like I could have. Can you eat flying fish? I didn't try it.
Many followers have probably seen a finger online on our socials that look very bad, a finger injury, and we didn't mention a name to the injury, but it was you. Oh, yeah. Elliot, how does it look now with your finger?
I think my hands have completely recovered. I mean, after that was the finger, and there's a little bit of, I was going to say, Thor, just have a once over. It's the feet that are worse.
You say your hands are recovered. We might need to have a little chat about if that means recovered to you. I just had a very close look at them. They look like they have been fighting a lot. Talking about your boat named Pacemaker, and that's for a reason. 5 years you went in and out of hospitals, and in 2020 you got a pacemaker. So you're also the first participant in the race crossing the Atlantic Ocean 3,000 miles with a pacemaker. Tell us about what the force behind and the fact that you can live your life and do what you want.
The first thing is not an important thing for me. It was really I was speaking to Medtronic, who produced my pacemaker, and they say a lot of people refuse to get a pacemaker before, even though they're advised to have one, because it will save their life. And they're worried that they can't play with their grandkids, run for a bus, play football. So what better way to show people that they should get their pacemaker installed and row? I wouldn't advise it, but yeah, hopefully to just show that it doesn't. It changed my life. I had to give up contact sport and rugby, but I can still do pretty epic stuff.
And this is big, 3,000 miles across the Atlantic Ocean. Through Wrangler charity, you're also supporting the British Heart Foundation, and you have raised more than £148,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Elliot and Wrangler. Give him a big, big hip hip hooray before we do a live interview with Charlotte on YouTube and get his first fresh meal on dry land. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrangler, hip hip, hip hip, hip hip. Well done, Elliot. Over to Charlotte. Down the step here. Be careful.
Ground is solid.
Very fast.
Still. Yeah.
Turn around. Let's have a quick chat. Just a quick chat. Well done, Elliot. That was steady. That was quite the rowing just now. Well done.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
So in the early days, you had a check-in with the safety team, the duty officer, and they said that you laughed out loud at the ridiculousness of it all, saying that no amount of visualization can prepare you for this.
That's absolutely spot on. Yeah, you get into the middle of the middle of the ocean, you can't see anything, and then a big wall of water. We had some big seas in the first few days, and then the next day you can just see for miles, and it's nothing but blue. Dark blue and light blue. And I just laughed at myself a lot at how ridiculous the whole prospect is of spending time on your own in the middle on this tiny little boat. But actually, I was thinking I wouldn't want to spend in some of the seas we had. This is the boat that I think I'd like to be the most in, because it floats. You've got to remember that when the wall of water is coming at you, unless it's breaking, which a bit of a washing machine it was doing, but you float above it, and it's at one point you're at the bottom, and it's really daunting, and then the next minute you're at the top, and you think how ridiculous it is that you're now at the top of this thing that you were scared of, and that happens over and over again, and then you laugh, and then you eventually laugh, and you just see little bits of breaking that look a bit aggressive, and you just hope
you're glad you weren't in that bit, yeah. And then suddenly you are in that bit, and you have to deal with it.
So what's the biggest lesson that you learned?
Be more tidy. Again, the cabins. I mean, organisation. The clean deck is a bit of an illusion because everything has just been swept up and chucked in.
And what about lessons that you learned about yourself along the way? Because it's quite something going solo.
I don't know. My brother said that Ian in the family and friends interview said that it was a bit like a mirror. It shows you who you are, but I think it's more like a peeler. It peels back every single layer of you, and you understand what is important. I think what's most important to you, I think, is what you really find out rather than who you are. Resourceful is one thing you have to be, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Anyway,
you've got so much support coming in from back home, friends and family are watching.
I mean,
what would you like to say to them?
Thanks. I mean, I got feedback from a few people about a WhatsApp group that I set up a bit, and initially it had like 3 people in at the beginning of last year, and I think it's now got 300 people in. And the notion of people talking about me doing the row kept me going every day. So thank you everyone so much.
You're welcome. I'll say it on their behalf. Enjoy Antigua, Elliot.
Yeah, I've already spotted some places that we're going to visit.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you. It's all very surreal.
How you doing, mate? Good job, brother.
Fellow fleet member.
Yeah, very.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Elliot one more big applause. Also, stay around 10 o'clock. We have this coming in, and the rumor says there will be a new race record. Let's see, around 10 o'clock.
Just wanted to show you there the cleanliness of the deck that he was just talking about, and it's super clean, super tidy. So but we're not going to go into the cabin, so we'll leave that for you, Elliot. We don't need to see that. As you heard, we have another solo rower coming in. Our third solo is Liz. She will be coming in just a couple of hours. I have no idea what time it is. What time did you say she's coming in? Around 10 o'clock. There you go. And it is now local time here. When I can find my watch, 6:45. So not long at all before Liz comes in. Elliot's going to have his little weigh-in. He's going to eat some nice food, enjoy being grounded on land. So keep an eye on all our social updates for the times of arrival. We keep them updated regularly. You can always download the YB Races app if you haven't done so already, so that you can track the rest of the teams that are out there. We've still got, I believe, 20 teams still out there, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.